Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. I'm Cynthia and I garden in zone 10A in Orlando, Florida. I'm going to get ready to do my May garden tour, and I apologize because I usually like to do these in the middle of the month, and we've just been so busy that I only had a chance to do it today, so it's a little bit later than I like, but at least we'll get it in. I'm starting over here on the side of the house because a lot of you have asked me what kind of plants I have over here. So this is what I call like my tunnel garden, sorry, just because usually this is filled up with Mexican flame vine from last year. And then in the back is the coral honeysuckle, but my Mexican flame vine died back. So I kind of lost the tunnel effect. But I just planted about 2 weeks ago, actually, this new vine. And this is a sky vine. I don't have any blooms on it right now, I don't think. But it's like a purplish, maybe like a light purplish blue. Once it blooms, I'll show you guys. But so hopefully this one will take up these two panels. So this panel and that panel, I put a netting, this white netting, and it's consuming the net already with only 2 weeks, and it's already starting to climb. So I'm pretty sure soon I'll get my tunnel effect back. Okay, so let's gonna start. Oh, and I do want to apologize on all that. That's my husband's getting ready to paint the house, so just ignore that part. Okay, so we're going to start here. This is my dwarf powder puff. The blooms start out looking like these little raspberries, and then these little puff balls come out. The only one I can see is this one right there. And they're very soft. It looks kind of spiky, but they're very soft. And then actually, these are the seed pods. And then most of the plants that I have on the edge, on the bottom, are coleus. So I'm going to go around and show you the different type of coleus that I have, but I don't remember the names of all of them. So I'll look it up and I'll try to post it on here for you. This is the only one that I remember, which is this one, and this one are the same. This is Wicked Witch coleus. I love this coleus. I have most of my coleus here, I think, are from Proven Winners. And then this one's getting devoured by by Wicked Witch, but it's trying to pop out. And I have this one. I love coleus that have pink in them. And I have more here. I have a couple of these in here too. And then this one's on the shorter side, which is like, I'd like it to grow a little bit taller, but we'll see. This one is beautiful for fall arrangements. I love that fall, like sunset orange color. It's beautiful. All right, and then this one is my coral honeysuckle. And this one gets visited daily by the hummingbirds. They usually start their little routine over here, and then they end up flying this way to the different types of salvias and other things that I have here. All right, that is a sun patient, and I just planted this kufia. So the hummingbirds love this one too. As you can see, the blooms are kind of tubular, so anything that's like that, they love. I also have a plumeria here, which didn't bloom last year, but this year, ooh, it looks dark. Let's go this way. It's setting buds, so I'm very excited to see these blooms because I didn't get any blooms last year. All right, so here, let me back up, is where I had my snapdragons and my foxgloves, and they're kind of still hanging in there, but as you can see, they're looking rough. I'm going to start pulling them out. Snapdragons don't look so bad, but the foxgloves are looking rough. It has been very hot lately, upper 90s with a heat index of like lower hundreds. And it's rained, but not enough. So yeah, it's time to take all these guys out and see what else I can put in there. This salvia will stay. I usually have the same salvia here and here, but this one's not doing so well. And I think it's because this salvia is blocking all the sun. And then my Superbina pink cashmere, which is the new one from Proven Winners, is doing excellent. I love Superbina here. I feel like they do a lot better than the Supertunias. They last longer. Supertunias do well, but I feel like once that intense heat hits, they kind of fade out, except for Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. That one I feel like does really well here too. But the Superbina, I feel like it lasts a lot longer. All right, so I think I mentioned the Mexican flame vine that I had growing in that over there where I have my sky vine. This is what the blooms look like. So before it died out, I took some cuttings and I'm going to see if I can have it climb over here. It's getting more sun over here, so I think it might be better. All right, and this is my Sweet Drift Rose. It's part of the Drift series, which I think do excellent here. And if you're a beginner, you should probably start with those. They're so low maintenance, so easy to care for, and pretty disease resistant. All these are other roses that I have here. Over here, I have a lot of society garlic. So you're going to see a lot of these like purple blooms coming out of like what looks like this grass, but it is society garlic, and I have it around on purpose near the roses because I read somewhere that it helps prevent nematodes, which we have a huge problem with that here in Florida. And so far, it's been helping. So this is another drift rose. This is popcorn drift. Look at all those buds and blooms. It is so beautiful, and it smells. Oh, the fragrance is amazing. It's so well here. What is not doing well, as you can see, is my Supertunia silverberry. So I actually have some Superbena that I'll show you in a little bit that I'm going to replace this with. And then over here I have my yarrow. This whole plant here is yarrow. It is taking over. And I thought it was an annual, but I've had this one since last year, so I'm very happy to see that it's surviving. And then this rose is Love Song. Beautiful lavender rose. So pretty. And then this is the last blooms of my delphinium. I'm going to let them go to seed and see if I can plant some more for next year. All right, let me show you over here. Oh, the hummingbirds. I don't know if you heard of them. So this is the Superbena that I'm going to replace that Supertunia with. I have two of these, one on each side of the gate. And I'm going to take them and divide them in a moment. I'm going to plant them throughout here to replace this Supertunia. These I think are mini vistas right here. And oh, yeah, so I guess just those. I'm debating whether or not to leave the Poet's Wife here. Not the Poet's Wife. The popcorn drift. As you can see, it's in a pot. They actually do really well in pots also. But I don't know if I'm going to leave it here or if I'm going to put it out there. If I leave it here, then I won't add any Superbena in there. But if I don't, then I'll add Superbena in there. All right, so let me come back and show you another drift rose. This is apricot drift. And this rose gets sun probably starting around noon until sunset. So this is a south-facing wall, and it does pretty good. And over here, I added some penta because they do really well in our summer heat. And then, of course, butterfly bush, which gets visited daily also by the butterflies. And then, of course, as I told you, more society garlic everywhere. And I have a dahlia that's about to bloom. This is, I think it's Mystery Day is what it's called. I'll post the blooms probably maybe tomorrow or the following day. It'll hopefully bloom. All right, so let's go around this way. And over here, I have Lady of Shalott. Lady of Shalott is not a climber. At least I didn't buy the climbing version of it, I should say. She's supposed to be a lot smaller than what she is, but here in Florida, sometimes things tend to just grow and grow and they don't stop growing, and she will get sometimes up to 10 feet, so I have to prune her back a couple times a year. She has been a little stingy with her blooms, but I'm hoping that as she ages, she blooms more. All right, and this is my ginormous salvia. This is, I think it's called Fashion Cherry. This one gets visited also by the bees and the hummingbirds. All right, this rose over here is Sweet Mademoiselle. No, sorry, this is Silas Marner. And then, of course, you know, anything that attracts bees, I love. So I got some Agastaki here. and some Mystic Spire Salvia. Mystic Spire Salvia does really well here, so I usually have that around everywhere. I have it here, here, and then behind me I have some more. And you can see the little bees. They're always around. Always, always. All right, and then that rose is Miss Princess Charlene de Monaco. Some of them are spent, some of them are looking good. There you go. And then this is Mrs. B. Arcant. Oh, sorry. The sun is starting to come out, so it's going to get a little harder to see. She's a beast also, but she does really well here in our heat. You can see her. This is all her from here to there. And then this is a Garvinia, which is, I think, same thing as a Gerbera daisy. So I'm trying these out. This is the first year I'm growing these, and so far they're doing really well. Such a happy looking plant. All right, and then over here, it's just a bunch of spent blooms from Bathsheba. See, I was trying to come out before. Oh, something's eating my bloom there. Not cool. But okay, so hopefully she will climb this side of the arch, and the Impressionist has already started climbing. Oh, I don't know if I can reach that bloom, but we'll see. It's a beautiful, like, salmon orangey pink color. It's gorgeous. Let me see if I can maybe, oh no, the sun's going to be in your eyes. Never mind. Just kidding. All right, and then back here is Queen Wreath Vine. I still have some. It was in full bloom last week. You can hear the lizards back there. See, so it's all full of these purple blooms. It's a beautiful backdrop for this bench area. And then over here, guys, see, this is what I mean. See, it looks horrible. Horrible, horrible. This is the Hoopla Orchid, Vivid Orchid, I think it is, from Proven Winners. It's their new Super Tune, I believe, from this year. This one gets a lot more sun than this one. This one looks a lot better. So as the heat picks up, they appreciate less sun. That's why I tend to like them sometimes more in pots, just because I can move them around. All right, so this is Meteor Shower Verbena. We'll see how these do. I usually take these out once the heat starts picking up, but I'm going to leave them in and see how they do. I am going to take the Cleome out, which I kind of don't want to because it's doing really well, and I wanted to see how it did during the summer. But, guys, I'm running out of space for my roses, and they need to be planted, and I need to plant this one. So I think I'm going to put this one in the Cleome's place. This is Romantica Ball Gown. And then I have some Lysianthus that are going to get ready to bloom here. So I may take this one out and put the rose in there instead of the Cleome. I really need to stop buying roses. It's become like an addiction. It's horrible. All right, this is the Generous Gardener. And she will be climbing this arch right up here. And on the other side is James Galway. All right, so let's go out here. Let's start with this container. So I have this container. This container has been struggling a little bit just because, again, it's been so hot and I haven't been able to come out and water. I hand water everything in the garden. I hand water. So if I don't come out, they kind of struggle. So this is, again, more Superbena pink cashmere. And, blue suede shoes, I think it is, this salvia. And then I have some celosia, which is kind of struggling. I feel like these two plants are taking over, and so she's struggling a little bit. This is intense, I believe, celosia. So I have one on either side. So I have one here and on here of the gate. Okay. Then all of these are going to be more roses. In the terracotta pots, most of them are dahlias. I'll show you some of these. This is Baskerville. These are older blooms though. And they may not even be as old. It's just, again, with the sun, they tend to just shrivel up quicker. They don't last as long. So usually as the heat intensifies, I bring them in instead of leaving them out here. That one is Moonlight in Paris. And then back here, that yellow one is Kevin Floodlight. So it's a dahlia that's full of buds also. Oh, that's a prettier blue from Boscobel. And then I have some dahlias over here. This one, I don't know what it is. They sent me the wrong tuber, so I have no idea what the name of this one is, but it's very pretty. All right, so back here I have, oh, hold on, let me move. This is Thryallis. As you can see, it is full of buds, and it's going to have these little yellow blooms. It loves the summer heats. That's when it blooms the best. So soon we'll see all those blooms. Over here I have an heirloom penta, and as you can see, I've been working in this area. I took out a huge fire bush that I had here, and I rehomed 2 roses that I had here. Like I said, I have way too many roses, and I kind of take notes of how my roses are doing health-wise and stuff like that, and some of them just didn't bloom as well. And then the other one that was here, I didn't really like the bloom form, and it was huge, and it was just taking up too much space. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna take it all out. I did leave a fire bush here because the hummingbirds absolutely love this also, so I had to leave one in. All right, so this is my, I think it's Valentine's Crush Somorphic Hibiscus. That is leafing out beautifully, while I have another one over here, and I don't know what's going on with this one. There's like no signs of life. I really hope it didn't die, but I'm going to give it time because I know sometimes they take a while. I'm testing out these plants here. This is Rudbeckia, just to see if it likes it. If they do well, then I'll plant them. And then these are zinnias. I'm thinking I might, for this year, just plant a bunch of zinnias all over here and maybe add some sunflowers. Because the hope is that this little guy, my new vine, this is a star jasmine, will fill up this panel right here and that one. And I say that one because I'm not sure if I'm going to take out the snow bush. I have a snow bush here and there, but I'm not sure if I want to take them out or not. I'm still deciding. So we're going to put the same metal wiring that we used for this vine, for the Queen's Wreath vine. We're going to use that wire over here and have the star jasmine grow back there. So I think that'll look really pretty, and it'll be very fragrant also. All right, continuing, we have more zinnias here, and I did leave, if you look at my past videos, you could see, you'd probably recognize that I had this sparkling amethyst superbena growing all along the edge. It looked beautiful, but it got full of mealybugs, so I had to remove a lot of it. I left these 2. Hopefully it'll fill up that space. And then this is Black-Eyed Susan that's coming back. It's waking up. And then we have this beautiful bloom from Candy Crush, Somorphic Hibiscus. This one's always the first one to wake up. So these blooms last one day, but there are so many buds that you can't, you can't even tell the difference. Look at all the buds. Buds everywhere, and it's constantly blooming, and it does extremely well in our heat. So you know it's summer in Florida once these start blooming. All right, and this is my fire spike, which has like red spikes, kind of like that one. That one's purple. That one's purple. Oh, trying to zoom here. That one's purple, and this one's the red one. So just waiting for those blooms. Again, hummingbird magnet. All right, so all of these that are not in bloom right now are all roses. Back here in the back, I have rosemary. This bush, I don't even know how old this is. This is probably like 5 years old, and I had to cut it back because it was higher than the fence panel. But it's struggling a little bit to come back. I think maybe I cut it back too much. This is porterweed. Let me show you. This is coral porterweed. And then I have a purple one that's growing back here. Let's see if I can show you the blooms. If it focuses. Maybe not. Let's try this one. Okay, it's not focusing really. But they're little purple blooms. And in the front, I have again more zinnias. And this is, I believe it's the Incredible Saturn sunflowers, improving winters, more celosia, and it's just a pattern. Sunflower, celosia, sunflowers in there somewhere fighting for its life because the dianthus is taking over and the cosmos, which aren't looking that great. All right, this is, I'm going to have to put the name of it on the screen because I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Sabrina mallow, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll put the name on the screen. It's kind of like a dwarf hollyhock. Oh, there was a hummingbird just left. Well, let me show you here. This is the purple fire spike. All right, sorry, I got distracted with the hummingbird that came by. So this is a dwarf, I would say it's like a dwarf hollyhock. It's a lot smaller, but I mean, it's still a pretty big plant. And I have it in a pot. You can see the little pot down there. I have it in a pot because, like I said, I kind of like to see how plants do in a certain spot before I plant them. But I'm not sure if I want to keep it there because it's taken over. I can't even see my bird phone back there, which needs water. So I don't know. We'll see. This is my volunteer zinnia. I did not plant this here. I don't know where it came from. And it's kind of in a bad spot. I'm going to be honest because in here I have another summerific hibiscus, and this is my favorite one actually. This is Perfect Storm, and it's struggling. Well, maybe not struggling, but it hasn't woken up, and I'm wondering if it's because it doesn't get any sunshine because the zinnia is blocking it. So I don't know what to do about that. I gotta think about that. All right, this is oxalis. I believe that up north, this is a house plant, but about here in the south, we can definitely use these in our garden. Just make sure they're in shade, and they thrive out here. All right, this is a Lisianthus bloom, very beautiful. More salvia in the back. And I have a pennymac hydrangea, which is suffering from powdery mildew. It's not doing great at all. I gotta figure out what to do with that. Powdery mildew is something that I'm not used to, so I struggle with controlling that. This is a sun patient, and this is a sun hosta, which will have these like little white blooms come out. And I have a tiny little hydrangea growing here. I believe this is dwarf ruby slippers. It's very, very tiny, so it'll probably be some time before I see any blooms. And then this is curcuma. This is, I think they call this like a summer tulip. I'll show you once these blooms. They're really pretty, like these pink blooms. And then some more sun patients over here. And I think that's pretty much it. Let's see, because all this is more roses, which aren't really in bloom. And this is more roses. Over here I have my basil, Amazel basil. Tastes so good. And then I do have some the floret flower. I'm pretty sure a bunch of you bought their seeds. The zinnias that I have growing on the other side of the garden are from floret also. And these are the celosia. And I thinned them out, but I think I'm going to need to do it again because I have some still growing way too close to each other. I'm very tempted to take some of these out and just scatter them around the garden. We'll see. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.